Hi everyone. Hello. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. How you guys doing this Thursday? I'm a little late today. It's been a little hectic. I was out earlier taking care of some business and yeah, it just got a little um, things got a little longer than expected. But excuse me guys, some water. But I am here. I am here. It's hot today. It's not as hot as yesterday, but it is hot here today. But I'm here with you guys showing up, as I stated, Monday through Friday. The only time that I probably won't show up is if I have like an unexpected situation that occurs. So bear with me a moment, guys. I'm looking for some tissue. I have like sinuses going on as well, but not as bad as normal, but I'm okay. So I hope you guys are doing okay. How are you guys doing? How are these messages helping you? Thank you, listeners, for those comments. I saw your comments, and I responded to it. I'm glad these messages are resonating with you guys because I talk from a space of my own experiences and the hell and the deep, deep pain that I went through, and I talk from a place of being authentic. So, because some of these topics that I talk about, guys, are really difficult for me at times. But I know it's not only going to help me, but it's going to help other people. Because I know there are people out there who's watching me, is currently going through something. And some of those folks don't talk about it like I'm on here talking about it. They're quietly going through a lot of hell and pain. And I will encourage you, if you're here, to stay here because the things that I share, different topics every day, but it relates to healing the pain and the grief. And you're going to be glad you did, I promise you, because I am. You know, sometimes it's important that we let go of situations that no longer serve us because the reason for that is because those things can distract us from staying on a path to recover the grief and the pain. Because if we get too distracted, then we might abandon, the healing process. And you don't want to do that because without your physical and mental health, you can't help yourself or anybody else. This is what I've learned so far on this journey, this healing journey. And everything that I've gone through, I'm going to share with you and how I overcame these problems and situations instead of succumbing to it. I'm also going to emphasize how I stop repeating lessons because that's important. Because if you do all this work and you fall right back into the pain and grief, then all the work you did on yourself is going to regress, and you don't want that either. So we're going to, day by day, take time out to talk about these things because I know these messages is helping someone. They need to hear this because perhaps you may be like I was. You didn't have anyone that had your back that you can talk to. I always talk to God, my therapist, but that's all I had, meaning I didn't have anyone in a physical because they all abandoned ship. But with that being said, guys, keep in mind I'm not a therapist, social worker, or a counselor. I'm just somebody who's gone through all these, learned these hard lessons and trials and pain and etc. And I share ways that I overcame them, and perhaps some of the things you hear about how I overcame these problems could help you within your own situations. So the title today of topic of discussion is Sometimes You Must Choose Yourself. Guys, sometimes, as difficult as it is, we must choose ourselves. I was stuck for a long time in that belief, that old belief, about DNA. This is my family. Doesn't matter if it's a cousin, sibling, uncle, aunt, whatever it is, and you get stuck in believing that you're supposed to help these folks because you share DNA. And I was watching something last night because I'm on vacation this week, and I was watching a show last night, and this guy comes to her job, this woman, right? And I'm not gonna name the show, but he comes to her job. She's at work, and she haven't seen him in I don't know how many years. And I think he just got out of jail or something. And he comes straight to her job to ask her to borrow some money. And I was shocked when she gave it to him. I'm like, what? And it's like, and it reminded me of a sibling that I have who used to do that to me also. But before I started to heal and get on this journey to heal, I would do it. I gave the sibling a place to live. You know, I had my son who was a child at the time, you know, and I had my own stuff going on. And my father used to argue with me all the time, you know, before I had my son, because I was doing this, because I always thought that you share DNA, we're supposed to help each other no matter who they are, what they're going through, what they did. We're supposed to have each other's back. But slowly I learned that's not the case. Sometimes you have to choose yourself, because that situation got to the point where I just had to cut off, block, and delete, you know, because it was messing up things in my life. So sometimes when we get on this journey to heal, to take care of ourselves, sometimes with all the chaos, the drama, and the negativity, we have to choose ourselves. And that might not be easy, because, you know, we are in these old belief systems, you know, like I always, what was said when I was a kid growing up, what happens in this house stays in this house. But guys, if what happens in this house stays in this house, I don't know how many of you were taught that, but what happens in this house, if it stays in this house, how can you heal it? Because it's like everybody is looking at this elephant in the room, and they're walking around it and pretending it's not there. So how can you heal the pain and the grief and the trauma if you're pretending it doesn't exist? You know, there's no way to heal that. Healing pain and grief and trauma, there has to be an outlet, you know, an outlet for it. One way is therapy, because you get to talk about things, address the pain, you know, the metaphor I use, address the elephant in the room. Because if you pretending it's not there, all you're doing is carrying luggage and baggage throughout your entire life. And you're not healing anything, you're just collecting burdens. And then when you get into relationships and connections, friendships, etc., you're bringing all that luggage and baggage to that situation. When you learn to heal it, address the elephant in the room, yes, it's painful. It's not fun. It hurts. It hurts a lot. But once you deal with it and you address it, then you release the pain. You release, it's an outlet for the pain. And it took me a long time to do this. But as I did that, I release and I start to feel better. You feel better, you do better, guys. But I grew up thinking that, because this is what I was always told. What happens in this house stays in this house. But keep in mind, guys, if that's the practice, then nobody's healing anything. You're just carrying around the pain and the burdens of it all. Lies, head games, betrayers, and drama starters. Excuse me. When you are around this type of energy, this type of toxicity, sometimes, guys, it is better to choose yourself. It's better to choose yourself, because you're dealing with things that is going to disturb your peace. And I don't know about you guys, but my peace is priceless. It means everything to me besides God. You know, your peace should mean everything to you. Dealing with folks who love to start trouble, drama, play head games, you know, gaslight you, you know, my way or the highway. And this doesn't have to be a personal relationship. This could be relatives, you know, a business situation, whatever. If it's bringing you more hell than peace, then it's time to choose yourself. And I talk about this a lot because I had to close many doors so far on this journey. And it was painful, because these are family members, these are people who I grew up with, who I've known all my life. But these people were interfering with my peace. I wasn't allowed to be myself. The old version of myself where I was subservient to people and being a people pleaser, but putting my stuff on a back burner. That was okay for them to be a doormat to them and, you know, um, be subservient to their needs. But my needs were being highly neglected because of it. And I had to do some work. And one of the works, like I always talk about, my therapist gave me was do a pro and con list. And if the cons outweigh the pros, set strong boundaries. People don't like boundaries, guys. Did you know that? I found that out. People do not like boundaries when you set boundaries with them. Some people will accept that and respect it. Others will try to skip, hop, and jump over those boundaries or dismiss them like you never put them in place at all. But I had to reiterate these boundaries over and over again. And when they continue to jump over them, I just cut off, block, and delete. Because nothing, people, nothing is going to interfere with my peace and my healing. Because without the healing and without doing the work, then you are stuck in a place where your mental and physical health is compromised. And it's always time to heal, guys. It's better to heal. And then if you stay stuck in it, then guess what? When the wheel keeps spinning, the same scenario, but the different characters. Because the same thing that you did not heal is going to keep coming back around. It's like a needle on a broken record that's just going around and around and spinning to nowhere. And that's what I was experiencing over and over and over again the first part of my life, because I was not learning lessons. I was letting toxicity in my door. Like you invite a vampire in. I was inviting it in because this is the way I thought it was supposed to be. I had a friend years ago who was, I think she got married to someone, he was younger than her. And I was dating someone who she knew at the time. And there was stuff going on that the type of person I am not going to put up with. And she had a audacity to tell me to close my eyes to it as this is what she was doing. The Lisa I am today would laugh at it. I was in shock when I heard it, but the Lisa I am today, I would laugh at that because I am not compromising myself. No one should compromise their peace. Anything that's going to jeopardize themselves and it's not for your highest good, then it's time to address it and set boundaries. And for me, my peace means everything. If anything that's coming into your life, guys, if it's not coming in to enhance it and make it better, then you have to ask yourself, are these things for your highest good? Because for me, there was a lot of things that was in my life that wasn't for my highest good. People was just there to leech, to use me up like a doormat. But it's my fault in a way as well, guys, because I allow it to happen. People only do what you allow. When you start to look at the situation, you start to heal and you start to do the work slowly. It doesn't happen overnight, but as you do the work slowly and you start to see things from a different perspective, then you learn that you are worth it. Then you start to self-care. The self-care leads to self-love. Knowing that you are worth it. It doesn't matter the noise over there that they're talking about, because people are going to gossip and be drama starters and do the most and the worst. That's noise to me, and I leave the noise where it is. Because as you start to heal, you start to see that you don't deserve any of these toxic situations and things. And the reason why it's happening is because we are allowing it in. But that's the purpose of setting the boundaries. We set boundaries so that we can stay focused on our healing, our peace of mind, And sometimes people are so used to doing what we allowed them to do that they feel that they should be still able to do that. And when it continues like that, it's like the title of this discussion. Sometimes you must choose yourself. And what I do is choose me, cut off, block, and delete. And people, they feel some kind of way. Oh, no, no, I'm not the same because I've gone through too much hell, too much pain, too much betrayal with the lies and the gossip, and it goes on, things I haven't even got to yet on this channel that hurt me deep within. Yesterday's topic was about healing from the inside out. These things were so painful that no one person could go through this without the help of God. I had to truly heal from the inside out and cut off people, family members. When I look at family to me should be like the Waltons, if you ever watched the show The Waltons. But what I had was nothing like that at all. These people were just horrific. And it was they were very detrimental to my healing process. And even putting boundaries into place didn't matter. I had to literally cut off, block, and delete so that I can stay on a place where I can still focus on my healing and choose myself and put myself first. And sometimes, guys, it's not being mean or cruel. You have to do that because your physical and mental healing is everything. Without that, you can't take care of yourself or anything else around you. So sometimes you must choose you. It doesn't mean that you're being mean or narcissistic or anything, because if you're not all right, that's a problem, guys, because you can't take care of yourself or anything else around you. And you must love yourself, not be in love with yourself. Love yourself enough to know what's for your highest good and what's not. And when you're around people who love to start problems because that's just who they are, then it's time to look at things from a different perspective. And in some cases with this, sometimes it's better to choose yourself than to be involved with the drama and all the toxicity that's weighing down on your life. Because if all those things are on you, you can't heal, you can't grow, you can't evolve. You just stay stuck in the toxicity, which affects your mental and physical health. So setting strong boundaries should be a priority. It is so much important, guys, to be at a place of peace. Make sure you're taking time out on a daily basis, every day, to take care of yourself, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's going to the beach, whether it's listening to some music, having a playlist of music, volunteering at your favorite place or charity, taking that mini vacation that you want to take, going to that favorite restaurant, buying that favorite perfume or dress or shirt that you like. Do things that uplift your spirit, because everything we see in this world today is tearing it down. And I try to minimize that as much as possible so that I can stay in a place of peace. And anything that's not enhancing your life or bringing peace to it, set strong boundaries. In my case, like I said, sometimes you must choose yourself and cut off, block, and delete. It is better, guys, to be at a place of peace than instead of being broken down into pieces. That's the message today, guys. Thank you for showing up. Make sure you're looking in the mirror every day and saying, I am worth it and I deserve the best in life, and continue to move forward. The key factor is to persevere and to never give up on yourself, and ask God to help you, especially those times when you just feel overwhelmed. Ask God to help you. If you have a support system, use that, utilize that as well. Thank you for being here again. That's the message, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure of the time, so subscribe to the channel. You'll always get a notification. It'll go off and let you know when I'm here live. Thank you, guys. I have to go get something to eat as well. And enjoy your day. Do something fun. Do something uplifting. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you. This is Lisa, shedding love and light. And thank you all for really showing up and supporting this channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys, and have a great day. Bye for now.